Verbs are essentially action words, but they can also be state of beings. So basically, we can have three kinds of words that can act as verbs. The first two are action words. You can have physical actions and mental actions, and the third is the state of being. Now, physical and mental actions are relatively easier to understand. I'll give you examples here so that you have a more clear understanding of what I'm trying to discuss here. For example, the team is playing in the park. So in this sentence, is playing is the verb, and it is a physical action. And another example is I am thinking about starting on this course. So I am thinking. I'm thinking is the verb. Am is the helping verb, and thinking is the main verb. And this is an example of a mental action. The third kind of a word that can act as a verb is a state of being. The states of beings can be statements of facts or opinions, or a statement of how things are. For example, I am a verbal instructor. This is a statement of fact. Here, this example, I am a verbal instructor. This shows you what? This shows you a statement of fact. And on a similar note, the weather is cloudy. This is again a statement of fact or opinion, or a statement of how things are. We are here. Again, this indicates to you what has happened or what is the current location of someone. So these three sentences, these three examples of the states of beings, they do not represent action per se. There is no action in I am a verbal instructor. There is not something that I am currently doing, either physically or mentally, to in this sentence, in whatever the verb I have. And so and also in the other two examples, there is no physical or mental action corresponding with these verbs. And that is why we call these states of beings. They represent either a statement of fact or opinion, or basically indicate to you how things are. Okay. So let's just look at the three forms that these be verbs can take, and this is fairly straightforward, and I will not deliberate upon it for a very long period of time. Basically, I'll just go over it quickly. So basically, you can have three forms: present, affirmative, negative, and interrogative. The first is I am. Now, whatever I am saying, if I want to communicate something, such as when I'm communicating the fact that I am a verbal instructor, it is present affirmative. If I want to say that I am not something, if I want to negate something, I will say I am not, for example, a verbal instructor. Or if I want to ask you something, if I want to ask you a question, I will go into the interrogative form, and I'll say, am I a verbal instructor? So these are basically the three forms of the verbs that you need to be aware of. Moving on to auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs or helping verbs basically have two functions. They can function in two ways. So auxiliary verbs can, as you can understand by their name, they can act as helping verbs, and they can also act as main verbs. So sometimes in a sentence, the auxiliary verb will be acting as a helping verb, and it will be coming with another main verb. For example, he is playing in the park. In this sentence, we have the auxiliary verb is and the main verb playing, and the entire verb is playing. But the purpose of this auxiliary verb here is to help the main verb and not to act as the main verb. The main verb in this sentence is playing. But on other occasions, auxiliary verbs can also act as main verbs. So in some sentences, in the absence of other main verbs, the auxiliary verbs can also act as main verbs. Okay. And an example of that is he is the actor who plays Richard. So he is the actor who plays Richard. In this sentence, the verb is what? The verb is. And there is no other verb in the sentence. The only verb in the sentence, for the subject he is. And in this sentence, the auxiliary verb is acting as a main verb. Now, helping verbs depend on the pronoun or the respective noun with which they correspond. So if you have if you are using the pronoun I, the helping verbs that you can use with I are am, do, and have. And the difference between these three helping verbs, is that of tense. So, and we'll be discussing that later on in later sessions when we come to tenses, on how we differentiate between them and which helping verb is appropriate for which tense. And if you have he or she, the helping verb that you can use with these two pronouns or respective nouns are, is, was, does, and has. And what do I mean by respective nouns? What I mean by respective nouns is that everyone, and I hope you all know that pronouns are used to replace or substitute nouns to avoid redundancy and repetition. So the nouns that they replace, if you have a noun that you will be replacing with he in a sentence, you'll be using the same helping verb that you use for he. Or if you have a noun that you can replace with she, you will be using the same helping verbs as you use for she. And similarly for other pronouns. Then we have they, which is a plural pronoun, and the helping verbs that we can use with they are, were, do, and have. Similarly, for we can also we also use are, were, do, and have. For you, we can use are, were, do, and have. The same as they and we. Here, a point that you should note is that although you can also be singular, the helping verbs are plural because you can be either singular or plural. The helping verb that we use with you are always plural. We cannot say you is playing football. You will always say you are playing football, even if the person who is playing football or the person who represents you is singular. For example, if you are addressing someone and that is one person, it does not matter. If you replace that person with the pronoun you, the helping verbs that you will be using are plural. Okay. And for the pronoun it, the helping verbs that we can use are, is, was, does, and